What if the next great Lakers era isn't carved out by sheer talent or iconic signings, but by the quiet, painful fractures beneath the surface, those invisible shifts that rattle a dynasty to its core? What if destiny isn't scripted by glory and banners alone, but by the gut-wrenching choices that force legends to part ways with the very colors they bled for? Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where raw truth meets purple and gold passion. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a second of this drama, because what's unfolding in Los Angeles right now might just rewrite the entire narrative we thought we knew. The 2025 NBA offseason stands as a crossroads unlike any other, a moment where the past and future collide in a maelstrom of uncertainty and seismic upheaval. The Lakers, once thought to be the architects of a new dynasty by luring a transcendent force like Luka Doncic, now find themselves in a maze of shifting loyalties and uneasy realities. The biggest shockwave? LeBron James, the king, the cornerstone, the living legend, suddenly finding himself an expiring contract player for the first time in a jaw-dropping 23-year career. Can you feel that tremor? A seismic sign whispered through the league by insiders, reporters, and executives who watch LA's drama unfold like a slow-burning tragedy. Ramona Shelburne and Brian Windhorst exposed this seismic shift in their latest ESPN report, laying bare the truth that had been simmering under the glossy veneer. LeBron James is drifting toward an exit. The trade that brought Luka Doncic to the Staples Center didn't just secure a superstar. It unsettled the sacred order, casting LeBron as a fleeting asset, a ticking clock on a legacy that felt invincible. The Lakers front office, led by Rob Pelinka, appears to be playing a high-stakes game of chess, pivoting away from the veteran icon who once carried the team on his back and now focusing instead on a future that feels distinctly less golden without LeBron. This isn't about tearing down a dynasty just yet. It's about weathering the storm of a bitter breakup few saw coming, but many whispered about. Sources reveal a fracturing relationship, even as whispers swirl around West Coast boardrooms and phone lines with multiple franchises circling like sharks sensing blood. And at the forefront of this frenzy, the Golden State Warriors, a franchise long entwined with LeBron's story in rivalry and conquest, are now eyeing the King's signature, and incredibly considering a blockbuster package that includes his son Bronny James in a trade that reads like a script no one dared imagine until now. The proposed haul for the Lakers? Jonathan Kuminga through a sign-and-trade, Moses Moody, Brandon Poginski, and a coveted 2028 first-round pick. Young, hungry, versatile assets with upside and promise that could gel alongside the dynamic Luka Doncic and the imposing DeAndre Ayton, two players poised to carry the torch forward. This deal, raw and bold, repaints the future LA faces, not the endless pursuit of glory with a timeless king, but the gamble of youth, hope, and potential on the line. We all remember the peak of LeBron's career, the player who would have commanded the sun, moon, and stars in trade returns. But now, at 40 years old, with the twilight of his legendary career looming, the narrative has sobered. It's a stark reality check for Lakers fans who worn his journey like armor. Yet, on the other side of the deal, the Warriors would be rocketing back into the headlines with a seismic shakeup of their own. Imagine the poetic justice, the King James and Steph Curry alliance, forged from years of rivalry, tension, and unforgettable final showdowns, finally uniting to chase that elusive final championship in their autumn years. Adding Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green to that cocktail only stokes the fire of what could be a historic, if risky, push for glory. The price? Surrendering their young core and future draft capital, trading the momentum of a franchise built for long-term sustainability for an all-in. Win now bet with two of the game's greatest stars sharing the stage once more. And then, there's Bronny the son who'd follow his father into a new arena, the Chase Center lights illuminating a narrative both compelling and deeply human. The spectacle alone would draw eyes worldwide, blending the next generation's promise with the last chapters of an era. For all its flair and star power, this deal drips with uncertainty. LeBron's unsettling silence toward Aiden, the uncertainty about chemistry on the floor, the gamble of youth returning to the Lakers lap the weight of every decision presses down like the heavy weight of Lakers' legacy itself. Rob Pelinka's move signals more than a transaction. It's a pivot from faith in experienced greatness to raw rebuilding. And the league feels it. As a lifelong Lakers fan who has ridden the roller coaster from the crushing defeats to the intoxicating highs, I can't help but feel a wrenching mix of hope and dread. Is this the sacrifice we must make to build a dynasty anew? Or is it the first step on a path that unravels everything we cherished? Will LeBron's departure mark the beginning of a new empire carved by smart youth and bold moves? Or are we standing on the edge of watching a legend story slip away in fragments? The Lakers are faced with breaking a contract. Yes, but more poignantly, with breaking a bond, a chapter of purple and gold history that shaped modern NBA. And the Warriors, circling like predators turned suitors, may hold the key to closing the door on LeBron's LA saga with all the drama and poetry this basketball stage deserves. But nothing is certain yet. The clock is ticking, and every move sends shockwaves across the league, echoing into arenas where legacies are made and broken under unforgiving lights. So, Lakers Nation, I ask you, what do you make of this stunning crossroads? Is this trade the dawn of a fearless new era, or the last breath of a fading king? Drop your take in the comments. I'll be reading every one. Because right now, history isn't being written with a pen. It's being forged in moments like these. And no, fans should miss a second. Listen up, Lakers Nation. If there's ever a moment to stop pretending everything's under control, if there's ever a time to rip off the Band-Aids and face the raw, burning truth about this team and its future, it's right now at this brutal, bloody crossroads where every decision feels like a gamble with our souls on the line. Because understand this isn't just about basketball contracts or flashy trades. It's about the heart ripped from a franchise that's bred legends, glory, heartbreak, and the raw passion of a city that bleeds purple and gold like no other. LeBron James walking away? At first, it feels unthinkable, a slap in the face to every fan who's followed his journey from high school phenom to NBA god, who redefined what longevity, greatness, and leadership mean. Is this the moment where the torch flickers, the aura of invincibility shatters, and the king fades into the sunset, leaving behind a kingdom that doesn't quite recognize itself? I mean, let's call it how it is. LeBron's legacy isn't just trophies or stats. He's been the bedrock of Lakers lore since day one. The guy who dragged us back into the title conversation when everything felt lost. The soul of the Staples Center with every buzzer beater and clutch playoff crusade. But now, with the whispers of his exit growing louder than ever, it feels like the very DNA of this franchise is being rewritten in real time. And not all of us are ready to face the brutal honesty that with him gone, the Lakers are not who we've known for nearly a generation anymore. And what does that mean for Anthony Davis, the other superstar, who we all pinned our hopes on last decade? Can a D bear that colossal burden alone, carry the weight of the hopes of millions? Or does this shift place an even darker shadow on his shoulders? The pressure cooker around a D has never been more intense. Every missed shot, every injury, every moment off the court suddenly feels like a crack forming in the fragile structure that once seemed unbreakable. Because let's face it, the king was the glue, the aura, the magnetic force that commanded respect, attention, and somehow made this team feel elite, dangerous, even if the pieces around him wobbled. And what about Bronny? Man, the emotional gravity of this situation hits differently when you realize the son of the greatest Laker of this era might be packing his bags for Golden State, walking into a new arena, a new city, and a storyline so loaded that it transcends basketball. That's not just a family transaction. It's a seismic cultural moment that tugs at every fiber of what it means to be a Laker. The echoes of follow in your father's footsteps have never been heard with so much weight like the next generation forced to carry burden and Legacy with every dribble, every face-off. Do we watch Bronny rise in Warrior blue and gold because the Lakers couldn't or wouldn't keep their dynasty intact? Could Reeves, who's been the underdog darling, the heart and hustle guy we all rally behind, suddenly become the last true carrier of Lakers grit? We all saw how he battles every night with something pure and raw, the relentless will of a true Laker, but this saga could isolate him, leave him as the anchor on a ship in rough seas, wondering if the future even includes the Purple Crown. Then there's the front office. Rob Pelinka's hands are shaking the foundations of Lakers history. You think Jeannie Buss, the keeper of Lakers' sacred flame, looks on this chaos without a storm brewing behind those eyes? What if beneath her calm exterior is the unmistakable tension of a dynasty on the brink, fighting not just basketball battles but power struggles in the boardrooms? And the wild card, the billionaire whose shadow looms large, threatening to disrupt the delicate balance of an organization built on tradition, history, and nearly 40 NBA championships. Imagine a new power broker stepping in, reshaping everything from the coaching staff to player priorities, demanding instant results, high-profile signings, and a seismic cultural shift that could either electrify or destroy the Lakers' soul. We've seen it before: the 80s Showtime magic under Pat Riley, the relentless dominance under Phil Jackson's Zen master command in the 2000s, the bitter rivalry-fueled revenge trip against the Celtics in 2010, the triumphant bubble victory. With LeBron and AD moments when Lakers fans got to glimpse heaven, only to have the rug pulled out beneath them when injuries, front office missteps, or simple bad luck struck. And this moment, the potential dismantling of the core as we know it, feels like the cruelest chapter yet in that ongoing saga. So, what about the ripple effect on the Western Conference, the great chessboard where every franchise is sizing up this tremor? Could this unprecedented shakeup finally crack the Warriors' grip on the West? It's a tantalizing thought: the reigning champs, suddenly forced to trade youth and draft stock for two aging but iconic superstars desperate for one last shot at glory. Imagine the daunting pressure mounted on Steph Curry and that infamously intense Steve Kerr leadership. This gamble could either cement Golden State's legacy for a second act or accelerate their descent if chemistry collapses and culture rattles. And then the dark horses: Denver with Nikola Jokic, always the silent giant full of unshakable skill. Phoenix with young Devin Booker aiming to seize the moment. The Clippers, who lurked in the shadow of greatness, just waiting for a break to assert their dominance. These teams are licking their chops, smelling blood in the water, knowing that the Lakers' potential implosion might be the opening they've been waiting for to step into the purple and gold void. Could the Mavericks, despite losing Luka, lease their NBA stage again with shrewd trades? Or will the danger come from an unpredictable foe, a team like Memphis or Sacramento ready to unleash chaos in a conference straining under the weight of legacy and expectation? The storylines intertwine in a frenetic dance: heroes and villains, kings and rising princes, all circling the spotlight. And we, the fans, we're caught between hope and heartbreak, holding our breath through every rumor, every leaked report, every cryptic Instagram post from the players. Our screens light up with breaking news that either feels like the dawn of something new or the death knell of a dynasty. The dusty echoes of past Lakers glory weigh heavy where Banner 17 felt like destiny sealed, and Banner 16 returned the purple and gold throne with vintage vengeance. It's been a roller coaster of emotion, with the Lakers riding the highest highs and darkest lows. Their history a tapestry of larger-than-life moments that contrast sharply with the silence and tension now haunting the halls of the franchise's present. And what if this upheaval forces us to reckon with a painful truth that sometimes, no matter how fiercely we love, how loudly we shout from the stands, how deeply we wear those colors, dynasties fall? What if the torch is passed not with a grand ceremony, but with whispered trades, bruised egos, and a stirring uncertainty that threatens to unravel the very fabric of what we believed Lakers basketball meant? Yet, amid that fear, there's a spark: we are Lakers fans. We are the pulse in the building when the game's on the line, the chorus that refuses to be silenced even in the darkest quarters. There's a rebellious fire that no dynasty break can snuff out, a belief that the Lakers always find a way whether through magic, miracle, or sheer force of will to rise again. But now, as everything hangs by a thread, as decision-makers gamble with legacies, futures, and dreams, I ask again, are we watching the igniting of a fearless new era, flush with potential, homegrown talent, and fresh energy? Or are we witnessing the heartbreaking unraveling of a legend's last stand, a kingdom fracturing before our eyes? The answers aren't neat. They aren't promised. Instead, they are raw, jagged, and utterly human, full of hope, doubt, fear, and undying love for a team that means so much to us all. As a Laker till the day I die, here's what I see coming. This offseason will not just redefine a team. It will redefine what it means to be a Lakers fan in the post-LeBron era, a test of loyalty that will burn hotter than any game-winning shot. Now I want to hear it from you. Drop your rawest take below. Every true believer in purple and gold, are you ready to ride this storm even if it breaks us? Because make no mistake, this is not just basketball. This is a battle for the soul of a franchise, and everyone watching is holding their breath, waiting to see if the Lakers rise or finally fall. What's your verdict?